So without Jonathan Taylor, this Colts offense seemed a little anemic. It seemed to have its good moments, its flashes, and that's about it. We didn't really see too much. We saw Anthony Richardson having a few nice runs and seeing what he brings in terms of running the football, but we didn't really, I wasn't too impressed with him passing the football. He did have a few nice throws, a few really nice throws here and there, but it seems like he's doing really well throwing some short stuff, but some intermediate stuff, seems like he's overthrowing almost all of it. But it's time to dive into this game a little bit and give you my recap on the Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars game yesterday, Sunday. Anthony Richardson and Shane Steichen's debut. There's a few things I want to go over, a few things I'm a little, disappointed with, a few things that, I'd say I'm happy with. So let's start with some of the things I'm disappointed with before we get to some of the good things. So the offensive line wasn't great. I thought it was much better in pass pro than run blocking. Now, a lot of people are bashing Deion Jackson in the run game in general, and Deion Jackson deserves it right now. He fumbled twice, and he dropped a wide open pass. So that's an issue. When you have a chance to go ahead and maybe carve out a nice little role for yourself with Jonathan Taylor not playing, you have your chance, you have your opportunity. He did not make it. He did not do what he needs to do on Sunday. Fumbling twice and dropping a wide open pass, that's not a way to carve out a role for yourself. That's a way to get yourself kicked off the roster pretty fast. No NFL team, no NFL coaching staff is going to tolerate two fumbles and a drop pass. And, we saw Deion Jackson was immediately taken out after the first fumble. Evan Hull was put right in. They weren't having none of it. And unfortunately, Evan Hull went down, and then we had to keep on enduring the Deion Jackson game, which, he didn't have a lot of room to run at times. And I would say last year, he looked all right when he had a few chances to run the ball, but he did fumble like once or twice last year too. So he definitely has a fumbling problem. So he may not be one we want out there at all. I mean, Jake Funk and Evan Hull are the guys we're probably going to want out there. I like Jake Funk. I like how he played. He played already much better than Deion Jackson. Unfortunately, Evan Hull's first big play, right after that, he suffered an injury. So right on that play, he had that big run for the first down. It was brought back, because of a penalty anyways, was a holding on Will Fries. But I thought Evan Hull looked good for the very, very minimal time he had. Was not a fan of Deion Jackson. Was not a fan of this interior offensive line in terms of run blocking. Was not a fan of Brandon Smith. Although I will say I did like Bernhard Raimann. I thought Bernhard Raimann had himself a nice game. Even if you go towards the end of the game, you see Quentin Nelson got absolutely stood up in the goal line. And Anthony Richardson, I know that's a point in the game where you have to go ahead and score, but I mean, don't take that hit like that. You're down 2 possessions. Live to fight another game. Live to fight another down. You don't want to take hits like that. First nasty hit, and he was down, and he couldn't finish the game. Now I heard it's just a bruised knee. He will be okay, and I know he will fight through it. He's tough. He's a tough human being. He's a leader, and he's a great leader, and that's one of the reasons why. And the team tends to rally around things like that. The team tends to get behind guys like that who play while hurt, that have that toughness. And Anthony Richardson's going to do that. He just wasn't able to go back in there, and I don't blame him not putting him back in there. With he was getting hit a little bit, and he was holding the ball a lot. But I do want to say, that's it with with the running backs and the offensive line. Offensive line was better in pass pro. I thought they were pretty good. I actually thought they weren't horrible. Now, they weren't good. Run blocking, Deion Jackson, absolutely no room to run. Even Evan Hull, when he had no run. No room. Jake Funk had no room to run. Wide receivers, I say, other than Michael Pittman Jr., no one really got open. Maybe Josh Downs got open. I'm not sure. Josh Downs was on a lot of motioning in, out, keeping him pretty low. But, I don't know why you don't put him out more when he had that nice play early on. It was a little slant over the middle of the field. It was a little shake route. And he was wide open. He completely got wide open. He got wide open and had a big time play. And Michael Pittman Jr., I'm ready to pay him. I know I was saying a lot throughout the offseason that I'm a little worried about him. I'm not sure if he could be the number one, but I mean, I think Michael Pittman proved a lot to us today with he finally got a quarterback that it's kind of putting it on the money, give him a shot to go get it, and really targeting Pittman quite a few times. I think Pittman deserves his money now. He have 8 receptions, 87 yards, and I believe he had that big time catch on that screen, and he converted a second 29, and he took it to the house. He took it to the crib. Oh, I like Pittman. I think we should pay Pittman receiver number 1 money. I think he deserved it. I think he deserved it after today. I think one game is all I needed to see. Honestly, I'm impressed with Pittman. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and I'm ready to pay Pittman. I'm ready to pay him. On the other end, speaking of paying, Jonathan Taylor, I know I said I was on with the backs, but I completely forgot to bring him up. Even if Jonathan Taylor was in there, he wouldn't have had any room to run. And I would like to see Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson in that backfield. It would absolutely help Anthony Richardson, but it seemed like this offense is very horizontal right now. And when the offense is being played when you're playing offense horizontally, the opposing teams can stack the box. And I don't see why they would be scared of Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce has not done well. He had 1 catch in garbage time. Other than that, he didn't really make a difference. So Alec Pierce is definitely a big-time loser. He is disappointing me beyond it sucks, it hurts, but at the end of the day, he's not playing well, and we need someone who's going to get open. So AR didn't throw to him, but I mean that means he wasn't getting open. I mean, AR was just kind of like, he did hold the ball for a long time. He did scramble outside a couple of times. He was scrambling, giving receivers a shot to maybe go and get open. And I thought Pittman did a good job. I thought Downs had a few nice catches. I liked how Downs played. I liked how Pittman played. I know Isaiah McKenzie was out there a couple of times. I think he had a catch or two, if that. Mainly kick returner and punt returner. But Nolan DeLass was the kick returner. Isaiah McKenzie was a punt returner. But I was not happy with Alec Pierce. I'm not happy with Alec Pierce at the moment. He better start picking it up. He's a 2nd round pick, and if he continues to play at the level he's playing at, he's going to be finding a new team pretty soon. Pretty soon. I don't know. Colts are going to be patient with him, and they're going to keep him the entire season. I know they're patient, and I know Chris Ballard's patient, and he doesn't want to give up on them. But I know I might be overreacting, but Pierce didn't have a good preseason. Very quiet in training camp, and now another quiet day in week 1. When other guys actually showed up and played pretty well, like Michael Pittman Jr. And I actually thought Kylan Granson played really well. It sucks not having Jelani out there right now, but I think Kylan Granson is really carving out his own role. Kylan Granson has been phenomenal, getting open, making big time catches. There's he had quite a few catches on important downs, and just in general, he was actually open on quite a few plays, but Anthony Richardson underthrew it or overthrew it. It seemed like majority of the time he underthrew it this game, and it really seemed that Anthony Richardson struggled to get it out on to be accurate on the intermediate throws. He doesn't seem like he has too much of a problem with the short throws. It's the intermediate throws. It's like 50-50, and that's got to change. He's got to get better with the intermediate throws. Got to get better, because some were hitting the ground before he even got to the receiver, or Kylan Granson, the tight end in that case. I know Andrew Ogletree had a really nice catch. It was a nice throw up the seam. Nice, beautiful recognition by Anthony Richardson to see it, recognize it, throw it quick up the seam to Drew Ogletree. Nice catch by him. I thought he had a good game. Just that one catch right there was really nice. And he actually got open a few other times. Anthony Richardson just overthrew him or underthrew him. And Anthony Richardson is going to have to get better now. He was very good running the football. Like I said, I'd rather him not take those hits that he took early on or, late in the game. Even though you're down, I get it. You're fighting hard and you want to win. And it's good to show that poise. But at the end of the day, take a step back and realize, take care of your body. Take care of it. By the time you hit 30 in football, you're pretty old. And you see what happened with Cam Newton and how fast he fell off a cliff because he wanted contact. He looked for contact. He loved it. And with Anthony Richardson, that's not, it's not good. I don't want to see him fall. I don't even know if he'll be the caliber of Cam Newton. Maybe running the football, yes. Passing the football, I have no clue. He's got a long way to go passing the football. As we know, he has the potential to be a top 10 quarterback, a top 5 quarterback. But I think it's doubtful that he ever makes it there. Now, if he does, I'd love to come on here and be like, I was so wrong. I'd love to come on here and be able to say that. But until it's proven to me, I'm going to be doubtful because of how little experience he is, how inaccurate he is at times. Now, Like I said, I do like his mental makeup. Very humble, very hardworking kid. So he has the best chance. So if he doesn't work out, he just doesn't work out, and then you move on. You know, defensive side of things. No, one thing with Shane Steichen real quick. I think early on in the game when the Colts got, I believe it was a turnover. I don't know if it was a fumble. No, it was a Tony Brown pick. I believe it was. It was a tip pick. Tank Bigsby tipped it. Tony Brown, nice recognition, takes it. With the 4th and 1 with Shane Steichen, I think you have to take your points that early on in the game. I get it. You want to go for it. I get it. You know, you want to get your guys' confidence up. You know, you have to take advantage of those situations, especially when you're playing a football team in the caliber of a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence didn't look good today. But I think that's too aggressive. You have to take your points. I think that's a time where you really have to take your points. Let's see. Defensive wise, I thought DeLis Flowers played okay. Darrell Baker did not play very good. He got beat quite a few times. He got beat for the 1 touchdown by Zay Jones. Safeties, Julian Blackmon, if he caught that interception, that it would have been a good game for him. But I'd argue to say since he dropped it, it was, you know, I consider that a rough play, a bad play, because it was right in his hands, and that's your chance to take over and give your offense another chance. Did not do it. I just, you know, a lot of self-inflicted wounds and mistakes in this game. Like, you know, there were some penalties. You know, there was a Will Fries hold when Evan Hull took it for 10 yards. There was quite a few. I'm just trying to go through the linebackers. Let's talk about the linebackers. Amazing. Every single one. I honestly think we have to beat the three, not the three best linebackers in terms of ranks 1, 2, and 3 linebackers, you know, as a whole. I say the best as a unit. I don't think there's a team out there that has a better linebacker unit than us. Shaq came back and he looked like himself. He was very good, making big-time tackles for losses, getting in the backfield lots of times, high energy. Loved what I saw from Shaq. EJ Speed may not have had the volume on the stat sheet as Zaire Franklin did. Zaire Franklin had a lot of incredible plays, slowed down receivers on a few screens, got in the backfield, had a few tackles for losses. Zaire Franklin had a pretty good game. He was beat on one route, and I think it was by Zay Jones. But, I mean, he had a good game, and, you know, pass coverage isn't his strength. But I will say Zaire Franklin really impressed me. He had a phenomenal day. Then you have EJ Speed. EJ Speed, you know, like I said, he didn't have the volume on the stat sheet like Zaire Franklin. Didn't have a ton of tackles, but he had quite a few. And he made that big-time play. I believe it was 3rd or 4th down on, you know, it was a screen. It was 4th. Trevor Lawrence threw a screen to Evan Ingram, and EJ Speed got through two blockers, took down Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is a very athletic and talented tight end. He's bigger. He's a tight end. He's not just a receiver. So the fact that EJ Speed was able to bring him down was impressive and get through 2 blockers. Really liked what I saw from this linebacker room. Now, the defensive line looked good. They looked okay. They were promising. I liked what I saw from Samson Abukum. Seemed like he was coming off the edge. He was a little explosive off the edge once in a while. Seemed like Kwity Paye had a decent game. They were putting him on the inside and the outside. I liked what we saw from Deo. Tyquan Lewis was even making plays, and then of course you had DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart up the middle killing it. Taven Bryan had a really nice play. I really liked what we saw from this defensive line. Now I want to see this defensive line do this week in and week out. I thought they looked pretty good. Now they didn't play one of the premier lines in the league, one of the best lines, but the way the Jaguars offense is called and the way it's played, usually having a decent offensive line isn't that much of a setback because Trevor Lawrence likes to get the ball out quick. Doug Peterson likes to scheme him to get the ball to get that ball out quick. But I'll say Trevor Lawrence didn't look really good. I thought he overthrew quite a few passes. And that one pass he threw to Julian Blackmon, and Julian Blackmon bobbled it, actually was, the receiver was open. He was open for the first. Just threw it that far behind him, and it was far behind him. Lawrence struggled a little bit. He did, but it's week 1. Not time to overreact. But for the Colts, this is kind of what I expected. I didn't expect them to play as well as they did. I thought Anthony Richardson looked better than I thought he would. But in general, I'm completely forgetting one of the most entertaining plays of the game. You had DeForest Buckner get in the backfield to sack Trevor Lawrence, and it was like a fumble. Tank Bigsby picks it up. He's like, oh, I got it. All right, game's over. It's just incomplete. Zaire Franklin comes behind him and boom! Plays out over, boy. And then DeForest Buckner was there. After DeForest Buckner took down Trevor Lawrence, and Buckner went to the ground with Lawrence. Buckner ran back to that spot, picked the ball up, went to go score a touchdown. I think Buckner might be... No, I don't know. Buckner's definitely not the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. You know, Josh Allen had 3 sacks. He was absolutely phenomenal. But that play was pretty cool. That was a pretty nice play. I like that play. But other than that, that's all I really got for this game. You know, the special teams looked pretty good to me. I didn't have a problem with the special teams. It's just a matter of fact of how inexperienced this team is and how young they are. They have a long way to go, and it sucks that we were up. You know, that was, you know, we really had a bit of hope there. But we just let it go there at the end. We just let it go. And Anthony Richardson, that interception he threw was not good. It was in the biggest moment. But I do want to say he came back the next drive poised, like it wasn't bothering him. Like he completely forgot about it. That's a big one for Anthony Richardson. That's something I wanted to see, and I'm happy that I've seen that from him. So that's all I already got for me. Do you guys think that Anthony Richardson and Shane Steichen's era debut was a success? What'd you think? Did you think Shane Steichen was too aggressive? Do you think, you know, what did you think of AR? He didn't look great. He's got a ways to go, but that's all you got for me. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. Before we get out of here, I do want to give our members a shout out. Thank you to Marshman Gunner and Red the Rat for being members and being a part of an incredible community, but never feel like you have to be a member. You have to become a member to be part of our community. It's a great community, great place to be. Join the Discord. Promise you'll love the Discord. So that's all I really got for me. So this is JDW Sports Talk Show. Signing off.